What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning U.S. time, so come by and say hello. All right, another Monday, another town hall, but this one was without Aggroed or Yabba Matt. So we had Hardpoint having some fun with the bosses away for the week, and it was a party. It was a party town hall. I recommend checking it out. This is my 5 biggest takeaways. It is not a summary. There's some fantastic content creators, both video, I should say, and written that you should check out and support if you are looking for a full summary. And what I'm looking at right now, which we'll use for reference, is the official town hall summary posted by the team. So there was some good news. There was some bad news. Where would you like to start? I figured the bad news. We're always going to start there, right? And then we'll get to the good news. All right, so here's my 5 biggest takeaways you can see as just a visual that I use for myself, but also to share with you. So number 1, Modern and Wild is slated as of now for the end of July or early August, and it's currently in QA. Well, that sucks because I was really hoping we would get it, I don't know, end of the season, end of next season. But now it's not looking like it's going to come by until end of July, maybe early August. And if there are any delays, then you can bet it's going to be mid-August because it's not going to come in the middle of a season. And these seasons are roughly 15 days each. So if we assume that there's 2 seasons per month, it's not going to be here by the end of June. It's not going to be, hopefully, it won't be there by the middle of July. But after that next 15 days, end of July, early August. So that makes me sad, and I'm considering boycotting until I'm considering renting out my cards and boycotting until modern format comes out, because at this point it will have been pushed back 7 months, and I've had enough. So stay tuned. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I can break the addiction just for myself to say that, you know what, enough's enough. I need modern format here. I hate losing to alpha and beta dragons. It sucks. So we'll see. That's the bad news. The good news, and we'll spend some time on this, is there is an upcoming Splinterlands game in development. Now let's see what notes they had here. I don't think that there was much, but Splinterlands is about to become a multi-game platform. So the team has contracted out another studio to work on a game for the team, which is really exciting. Now, we don't know many details about this, but we do know that the studio is planning to attend future town halls and request community feedback. So this will be very much kind of in development with the community's feedback and kind of just this collaborative effort, which I think is really exciting because I love it whenever the team, puts out artwork or different things like that for Splinterlands assets. Now, the cool thing here is there is potential, again, none of this is finalized, but potential for asset interoperability. So the team loves the there's a little typo here. Team loves the idea of giving Splinterlands assets more utility by possibly integrating them into other games. So we're not sure how this is all going to work yet. Splinterlands is really at the cutting edge of this. There's not too many other games that are trying to do this. There are other games, but none. Splinterlands is one of the first that is really trying to create this, where you can send these NFTs potentially to other games or use them in other games, I should say. So, not official, details still being worked out, but more information should be arriving in the next couple of weeks. So that to me is really cool because we had heard about, I think we were getting excited about the Warner Music potential, right? Because we had heard some interesting elements to that deal where they wanted to be able to provide, some kind of support to the Splinterlands community, and we didn't know what that was going to be like. Yabba Matt was saying, or people had asked, and Yabba Matt had responded that maybe that includes some kind of airdrop. But again, nothing was really confirmed, and we haven't heard much on the Warner Music side since. We did hear about the arcade thing all the way back in Q1 and hadn't really heard much about it since, but that is how Hardpoint brought it up today, where it is about another studio coming in, so they're not taking resources away from the team and having this studio build out a completely different game. So now, we were thinking about what this Warner Music thing could be, and then this arcade thing, which we had forgotten about, kind of came around and is back in our periphery. Actually, it's not even in our periphery. It's literally right down the barrel. So I'm excited about this. I don't know what this means, but it doesn't sound like it's going to happen quickly. And if we know Splinterlands, then we know it's not going to happen anytime soon. So I would say that probably I wouldn't expect this until like next year. I wouldn't expect this for like a year from now, because it doesn't even sound like they started on this. They're going to come through and start getting community feedback. So maybe there's some ideas that have been sketched out, but there's no actual development being done. So I would slate this for Q2, Q3 of 2023. So it's a cool idea, but this is what I mean when I say, are you guys ready to stick around for the long run? New game coming 2023, Bitcoin halving 2024, bull run 2025. So that means the rest of this year is garbage. But you know what? There's still some exciting things to come, because at least Modern and Wild. No, I can't even say it. Hopefully we get it. Hopefully we get it by August. If we don't, I don't even know what I'm going to do. All right, number 3, let's go. So lands have or may have an artifact slot. Again, I need to remind you guys that until stuff is final, it's not final. And so a lot of what happens in the town hall is brainstorming and spitballing that the team does publicly, which I appreciate. I need to keep saying that. I appreciate the fact that they do that. But don't make financial decisions based on those, okay? So here's the thing, though. Lands may have an artifact slot in addition to your summoner and potentially monster slots, which again, neither of those have been confirmed, but that brought up a conversation around totems, and I'm including titles in this because we have heard that totems are going to be involved in some way, and titles as well, as a way to potentially improve or increase the production of assets or whatever resources that your land provides to you. So that to me is really exciting. Again, this is more of a logistics of how it would actually work, because we knew something like this would be implemented. Now, the alpha that we got around totems was fascinating, because right now when you're buying totems, you don't really know what they do, and essentially we kind of heard from Nate via Yabba Matt that this was, or we heard from Yabba Matt via Nate, I should say, in today's town hall, that his idea, and when I say his, I mean Yabba Matt's idea, was that there'd be a bunch of different kinds of totems. So the totems that you could potentially buy off of the secondary market right now, and hopefully the non-card market when that comes through, are like packs, and you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, you know the rarity, but you don't know what potentially they do. So the example given was maybe this totem works really well on a death based land, right? Or something like that. So that adds another interesting element. And we know that not all totems are out in circulation yet. They only released a couple. So don't go rushing in. Don't go chasing waterfalls, aka totems. I'm just letting you know that these could have potential in the future. But seeing as functional land is probably still a year away, I would not be rushing into these. Now, if you want to go through and do that, be my guest. But again, I'm just trying to caution everybody from FOMOing into everything when we know that there's still quite a bit of development that needs to happen on land, and the team is the team. All right, number 4. This was interesting. The mobile app is actually being delegated out or contracted out to a separate team. And I don't know if they have anything here on the mobile app. It doesn't look like it. So what's interesting about this is that I didn't know this. This was something just, I guess, revealed publicly today. Maybe I had missed it. But everybody is so excited about the mobile app and getting a solid mobile app, because that would bring in the masses, right? Or at least that is the belief. Now, I'm not against that belief. I think that having a solid mobile app would really open us up to many, many other players and other demographics and markets around the world. So getting a mobile app seems like a priority. although the team has not really made it a priority, and the fact that they have an external team working on this kind of makes me feel that it's even less of a priority. Because if you want something done right, I feel as though you would want to be doing it yourself. Right now, we've seen, and this is not me saying this, but Yabamet said that the ball was dropped on the mobile app for the new ranked rewards. So it's really, really far back of mind for the team. So what that tells me is anybody who's waiting for a mobile update or some crazy renovation to the mobile experience, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And the team, to be fair, has said that it's something that they want to do, but it's not anywhere on their list of priorities. And the fact that right now any mobile updates that are needed are done through a contracting, or done through a third party, just makes it feel like it's going to be the bare minimum. It's not going to be a labor of love where you get people who want to create the best experience. It's going to be like, hey, we need you to update such and such, and so we contract out. Again, I don't know. I'm just guessing, right? Because that's just how I would understand these types of relationships to work. If it's kind of just like what they call MVP, right? Minimum viable product. It's just you want something that works, something that functions, and they'll come back to it at a future time and hopefully be able to update it then. But for those of you wanting a better mobile experience, and I know you're out there, and I agree with you, I wouldn't get your hopes up. So, maybe 2024. We'll see. We're going to take a look at the roadmap later. All right, number 5. This was an interesting question, and there was not like an answer that made me think about this. It was more so just the question of like, what would it be possible to rent out or delegate your SPS as if your SPS were an asset that you could use similar to cards and potentially like land in the future. Now, this was the context for this, or the example that was given was, what if I wanted to enter into a tournament, but I can't buy like X amount of SPS to be in that tournament? Can I rent it out for a certain amount of DEC? So that started to get me thinking about lending, right? Because I know Yabamat had brought up lending, and I don't think that this was the kind of lending he had talked about. For the lending he had talked about, it was like using your assets, using your cards as collateral to get something from there. But now it's making me think about SPS potentially as not really collateral. Obviously, it's a rental market where you are renting it out to somebody else rather than lending it. You know what I mean? Like I know there's a slight difference there, but you'd be renting it out to someone else, and they would give you X amount of DEC for the time that you are renting it. Now, on the flip side, it'd be also cool if you could delegate it, right? If there's like guildmates that want to participate in certain tournaments, if I could delegate SPS to them, and maybe they get the rewards, staking rewards, or maybe I get the staking rewards, or whatever the case is, it would be kind of cool to be able to help out and around with that. Now, it would also make it easy to exploit, so I can see that right off the bat. So how they end up implementing it, again, I'm not saying that they're even going to implement it. I'm just saying how this would be implemented would be something to think about. But I like the idea of it, ultimately. My biggest drawback is right now we are seeing, not just in Splinterlands, not just in crypto, but in the entire global macro economic market, right? We are seeing a massive deleveraging, and that has hit major institutions. The two that I'll name today are like Three Arrows Capital and Celsius Network. So they're just this leverage, this lending, like it's all fun and good when the market's going up, but it gets really bad and people get liquidated and it gets crazy. And there's a big unwinding that happens when the markets start to go down and we hit a bear. So my only fear with any kind of lending or rental service within Splinterlands is people are going to get absolutely wrecked, because when the market is the way that it was back in October, people are going to be taking crazy loans. People are going to be doing whatever the case is. And it's just, I don't know. It makes me nervous. Now, again, this isn't necessarily lending. This would be, I guess, a way to like rent or delegate out. So that to me could be cool, but you'd have to be just a little careful of how you go about any exploits that could come from it. So that's actually all 5. The last bonus here is I'll go through the roadmap. I don't know if I'm going to end up making a separate video on this, but if I do, then that's fine. Most likely not if I'm going to cover it here. There hasn't been too much change to this outside of a bunch of things getting pushed to Q3 at this point. So obviously ranked rewards came out in Q2. That's the big celebration for Q2. But tech modernization and the non-card market have now been pushed behind Wild and Modern, which has also been pushed. So everything's just getting delayed at this point. Again, are you surprised? Well, I guess I am a little bit. You know, I had a little too much hopium, and I told you guys, I can't do that. I'm allergic to hopium, but I got excited when they were saying we're going to have this, fire hose of content release, fire hose of different updates. I started to buy into the hype. But you know what? It takes a while for this stuff to come out. It makes sense. I'm just bitter about Modern and Wild. But really, I'm hopeful that the non-card market does not take very long. And even though the tech modernization isn't necessarily going to be for us, it's really just on the back end. Obviously, that seems like it's going to be, or it has been, one of the major holdups for a lot of the other implementation and a lot of the other development. So I'm kind of torn. It's like, not that I don't want Wild and Modern sooner. It's just, it sucks that Wild and Modern got pushed back. And then tech modernization and non-card market, which were supposed to be originally in Q2, are now behind that in Q3. So if you think we're going to get land in Q3, I'm just saying, because let's play this out. Okay. So Wild and Modern comes out end of July or early August, right? The first week of August, first season of August, I'll say. At that point, there's no way they're going to be rolling these out like simultaneously. So even if they do, these in 2-week stretches, I mean, you have beginning of August, end of August, middle of August, end of August. You got Rift Watchers, right? So I guess non-card market would even be beginning of September. So you have Rift Watchers potentially in mid-September. And that's if they are releasing things every 2 weeks. We haven't seen that yet, but hopefully we will. But we haven't seen that yet, which means that I don't think we're going to get land until Q4, which would be October. So again, it's a little disappointing, and I know that was the general sentiment that I was seeing across the board when this happened. But, Rome wasn't built in a day, so we got to just roll with the punches here. The good thing is the new ranked rewards have been a lot of fun. I like them a lot, and I think that they are a great kind of update to the game and the game experience overall. So let's just keep doing that. Let's keep farming these cards like the bots we are. And then finally, when we get Wild and Modern, hopefully things will change things around and spice it up, at least spicy enough for my liking, hopefully. So that's really it. I'm going to see if there's any eye candy here to share with you. There's some concept for the Wild badges for the upcoming Wild and Modern. There was a novice to bronze animation, which is kind of cool. Again, it's all the little things that I really appreciate what Nate and the creative team are doing just to enhance the experience a little bit. So I know I get really I get really bearish and snarky about Wild and Modern, but I understand what it takes. Actually, I don't understand because I'm not on that side of the development or creative, but I understand and appreciate the fact that really building all this stuff out takes a while, and it takes a coordination across multiple departments, multiple skill sets, multiple people. So even to put something like this together, it takes a bunch of people, right? Just a simple animation to progress from bronze into silver or whatever this is. A couple things here are the Splinterfest posters, it looks like. So I'm excited. As of now, I am planning to go. I don't know what this is, but I love it. It's the SPS Goblin. So now I guess it's only a potential, but whenever you claim your SPS, this dude's going to be running across the screen or something like that. But that would be awesome. And then here's a little eye candy for the, I guess, an Earth Battle Mage. So yeah, Hardpoint was asking for another wallpaper. So looks like this is what we got. And as usual, the artwork always looks phenomenal. So that is all I have for you guys in this video today. Another town hall in the books. Again, it was a lot of fun to have this one without Aggroed and Yabamat. Of course, what was interesting is, Hardpoint could only go so far on certain topics. So he said that he would have to punt on certain things. So, obviously not having Matt or Aggro there. I mean, even Aggro punts to Yabamat sometimes. So hopefully we get another town hall soon with Yabamat, but I believe they are at NFT NYC, hopefully spreading the good word about Splinterlands. So if we see a little bump in the spellbook purchases or signups, then that could be exactly what's going on in New York right now. So that's all I have. Have an amazing rest of your day. Let me know your thoughts about the town hall in the comments below, and we can continue the conversation there. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.